Good morning, the yeshiva. Bezrat Hashem. Today is the 11th of the month of Tishri, a day after Yom Kippur. Bezrat Hashem, as we know, that there is a concept on Motzei Yom Kippur. As Yom Kippur finishes, there is a inyan to go out and build the sukkah or put out the schach. If you're able to and you're well to do, Baruch Hashem, every year our custom was to put out the schach erev Yom right later Motzei Yom Kippur. We set up the sukkah before that, and then that night we just put out the schach. Since my injury, I cannot afford to do that anymore much. So, and if my boys are not home, we do it. I get somebody to do it erev Yom Kippur, put out the schach, and Bezrat Hashem and Hashem's help. But it's preferable that a person knows to do it right after the ta'anit. He ate a suda, he goes outside and put out the schach, and building of the sukkah is the main thing.
You mean
The schach? Yeah, right after the kippur, after ta'anit. Okay? As we said, you do Havdalah, you make a suda, you eat something, don't overeat to become tired, chas v'shalom. Go out and put out the schach. Many years, many custom was that if I didn't buy a trog before Yom Kippur, that night, Yom Kippur night, you go out and you buy a trog. It's also part of the mitzvah. Anything to do with the mitzvah of Sukkoth, you try to accomplish then. Since I moved to Hollywood, I don't know if anybody opens their business Motzei Yom Kippur, but in Brooklyn, I remember, every guy who sells the etrogim, arba minim, so packed. The stores are packed, Motzei Yom Kippur. They're selling etrogim. And the lulavim, which is again, that's a mitzvah of Sukkot. You do anything, it will be part of it, is to showing to Hashem. It's not like I just daven and bye-bye and finished. Hashem forgave me all those sins and now I'm a clean person and start a new life with pleasures. The worst part is obviously waking up the next morning and there is no slichot. For 40 days you wake up every morning, slichot. Today everybody wakes up in the morning and they're coming to shul. No slichot. Shem merachem aleinu. Bezrat Hashem. Now, let's go. Halachot Sukkah. It says in the Torah, Basukot tishvu shivat yamim. We're obligated to sit in the Sukkah 7 days. Ki basukot hoshavti et bnei Israel vehem anei kavod. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, where did Hashem set us? It says in the Torah, Hashem let us sit in the Sukkah. What is the Sukkah? How we had Sukkah? You think we had shalashim, we had tents in Midbar? No. It's not talking about that. It's talking about HaKadosh Baruch Hu settled us in the Sukkah. The ultimate Sukkah was Ananei Kavod. Ananei Kavod. Yeah, the Ananei Kavod is the Sukkah.
7 days all the time.
Huh?
All the time.
Yes. Hamnedakim b'mitzvot mitchilim miyad b'asiyat HaSukkah, as we already said. People that love to do mitzvot more and more do it right after the end of Ta'anit. Gimel. Nachon shekol echad ya'asok b'asiyat HaSukkah. Every individual has a part with building the Sukkah. If somebody is, again, it's hard for him, then today, Baruch Hashem, we have those guys that put flyers all over, who build sukkah builders, professional sukkah builders, right? Those guys. So I pay them a few dollars, whatever they request, and you know that you did a mitzvah as if you build it yourself. Yeah, I tell my wife, I baked the best cake. My wife's like, you don't know how to look at the kitchen. I go into the kitchen, I get lost. What to do, where to do, milchik, fleischik, leave me alone. I don't go into the kitchen, right? So I tell my wife, I bake the best delicious cake for Sukkot. She looked at me like, what are you talking about? I said, I bake the best eclairs. What? I said, listen, I bought, right? I went to the bakery and I paid them for the cake. So the rule is, if I paid for it, it's like I baked it. So my wife tells me, yeah, like you gave birth. Yeah, like I give birth. My wife doesn't understand. For men, it's much more harder to see their wives suffering at birth time. So women are like, if men gave birth, the world will have no people. This is the most silly idea. If men gave birth, the world will be overpopulated. Because men don't give birth with feelings, like women do. Men give birth with the brain. And the Torah tells us, Mashiach is going to come as soon as all the bodies are born. So what would men do if men give birth? The Mashiach would have come 1,000 years ago already. Because men do everything with the brain, Baruch Hashem. We don't do nothing with feelings. So most men. Anyway, Sukkah, Tachat Ilan. So we have rules. You're making a Sukkah, you have to make sure it's not under a tree. Okay? The tree, the growth, anything, basically like this. You're allowed to use anything that grows on the tree for a schach. Schach, you could put anything on top of the sukkah and make it kasher, There has to be a condition. The condition is it's not attached to the ground. If it is, if it is attached to the ground, therefore, it's no longer becomes kosher schach. It's called a tree now, and you cannot have a sukkah under the tree.
If it's very high, also.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
A sukkah, it cannot be under a tree or under a roof. Let's say you have many roofs. They stick out 3 feet. Many roofs, they stick out 3 feet a little bit on top, outside to make it nice design, right? So the rain doesn't come down. So somebody built a sukkah under that. Those 3 feet, it's pasul. It's not kosher. You can't sit over there. Even if it's 25, 30 feet high, it doesn't matter. You have to take a measure, laser, and you have to see. In my house, we had such a sukkah. It was on a porch, and there is a protrusion from the roof. So I made a sign. I made a measure, and I made a measurement, and I saw what were and how. In the sukkah, I said this line is pasul. So it's going to be over there that it's like sukkah is not kasher in that area. Men cannot sit. Only women. Only women should sit over there. Women don't need to mitzvah sukkah. Only men. Only men. Why? Because that's what the Torah says. It's called mitzvah. What?
So Isha should have allowed to eat, no
What?
sukkah, no
She doesn't have to, no. She doesn't have to eat, she doesn't have to sleep. A woman doesn't have to do mitzvah sukkah at all because it says man, grama. It's a mitzvah that comes with the time, and therefore a woman will be patur. Okay? Now, let's see. So the rules are what kind of schach you make. So let's say like this: you have the square, right? You have the frame. Somebody puts the schach on the slant. On the slant. So on the slant will be also kasher. Okay? It will be also kasher, not a problem.
How many? You have to have only one door, not 2 doors.
You could have 10 doors if you want. Doesn't matter.
But you have to have side like this close.
Yeah. Oh, good. So what kind of walls you're supposed to have? Let's say some people have wall. It has to be 10 tvachim wall. Today we don't even have that. Unfortunately, those Sukkoth that they built from metal with the shaky walls, there is one way and one way to make it kosher. These walls, even if you make them tight, it's not kosher. It doesn't stay. You have to have like this. What they do is they put rope less than 3 tvachim. If it's less than 3 tvachim from the ground, they make a rope. Then it becomes lavut. Then it becomes like a 3 tvachim. Then they put another 3 tvachim and they put another rope. And now it's less than what's his name? The wall has to be 10 tvachim. So as long as you have 10 tvachim, even if it's not real wall, you just have a tight rope, and it has to be tight. Doesn't move from the wind. And it doesn't move from the wind. The ropes don't move from the wind. But the walls that they put in those plastic sukkah, it's of the material. It's no good sukkah. You must have those ropes.
If you make plastic like this,
doesn't matter. That's what we're talking about. Plastic is no good. You need. It has to be not movable. The walls cannot move with the wind.
Okay, if you have they put a special like they put in the ceiling, very strong one, they don't move.
What?
Plastic, big.
It still moves. It still moves.
You don't have to move. Okay.
It has to be not even
But
move.
with
Nothing.
him, you have to have 1, 2, 3, 4 walls.
No. You need to have 2 walls. 2 walls minimum 7 tvachim.
Yeah.
And then 1 wall with the hand.
So you have here 7, 7.
1 wall. Yeah, that's right. That's
The
good.
front open.
Good. But it has to be walls, like I told you. The wall has to be tight. Rope that they use, that makes it the best tight.
So you can make with rope, with a strong rope.
Strong rope, and I told you every 3 tvachim has to be lavud, and it has to be 10 tvachim.
10 tvachim.
So it could be 10 tvachim anywhere you want. It could be on top, from the top to bottom 10 tvachim, or from the bottom to top 10 tvachim. Yeah, please come. Okay, so let me just put it on pause. So very, very important, right? We said those protrudings, that they should be, again, it has to be the walls 7 tvachim minimum, which is 7 tvachim. It's about 30 inches. Each wall has to be 30 inches, but 10 tvachim, it has to be about 35, about 40 inches wall, right? Within 40 inches, you could make also tight ropes, but it has to be within that. So now, let's say you're coming down from the top. You don't have nothing at the bottom. You just have amudim. You have beams. So again, you could make a rope from the top, right? And then it's going to be lavud. It's going to be like a whole wall. Even if it's not there fully, it would make kasher. That's very important.
And the other You have to be here 7, all depends. You can
It has to be 2 full 7 and one tefah, 4 inches.
4 inch, that's it.
Yeah, 4 inches of wool, and that will make it all 4 kasher. Okay, that will make a kosher sukkah. Anybody who has a sukkah and wants to show it to a rabbi, could call me up or show a video. There are many rabbis, Baruch Hashem, are proficient in that, and Bezat Hashem, to make sure that you have this everything kosher. Have a wonderful day, Terry. Thank you. So now, if you are in the sukkah, you want to sleep. There's obligation to sleep in the sukkah. I don't know. I got scared. I was planning to sleep in the sukkah this year. Finally, Baruch Hashem, our sukkah is in the background and it's more secured area. Somewhat in Brooklyn, we have a problem because of the goyim. Even though there's a lot of rabbanim that still say in Brooklyn it's dangerous to still sleep in the sukkah because of the winter, the weather. It becomes cold in a second. Now this is crazy. On Thursday night, my brother got bitten by a spider. Some spider, I don't know. Sitting in the background, right next to the sukkah. I was planning to put a sofa over there, first time, finally. The first time, no, this is not going to be my first time. Last time I slept in the sukkah was in 1992, Sukkoth. I arrived in Yerushalayim, in the yeshiva. So I remember there we slept in the sukkah. And that was the last time I ever slept in the sukkah, unfortunately, because of all the dangers. And now my brother tells me he got bitten by a spider. We went to Rabbi Button, he says it's a spider. Said, you know what? I'm very sweet blood. Everybody bites me. I'm so scared.
Where are you up in the sukkah?
What? My sukkah is in the backyard.
Oh, you on grass?
No, it's on the.
Oh, it's not so bad. Just put it.
But there's grass all over. Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as it's not on the floor, just put it there. Then what you do is you line all the walls and the roof with reshet, with screen, right? And then basically what you do is you spray the entire thing down heavily with chemicals. Right, the day before.
Rabbi, I want to stay. Okay, you're getting me already complicated here. Chemicals.
That's the way it works. That's the Florida system.
I'll sleep on.
If your person doesn't spray down the sukkah with chemicals, I'm not sure that you can actually make a bracha on the sukkah.
Yeah.
It's Florida. It has to be livable. It's not livable unless you basically kill everything.
I don't know. I mean, we have a concrete.
Yeah.
It's on the concrete. You could survive a day.
You spray the floor.
You could survive.
You spray the
Then
floor.
just spray.
Spray with what? What kind of spray?
You'll go by.
I use 3 different chemicals.
Yeah.
I first spray the floor with outdoor chemicals. Then I spray the walls with the regular house stuff. And then the roof I spray with the flying insect one.
Yeah, but I don't have a door. That's the thing. The door is right into the porch.
Very simple. What you have to do is just put screen but hanging.
You put something plastic after you leave it for a little bit.
And that gives you 2 days of bug free, and then after that, it's infested again. So you get 2 days,
You cover yourself good when you sleep. Very much.
I mean,
In this heat, you cover yourself. You kidding me?
So
Yeah, whatever, guys.
I
don't know. I'm too scared still. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure the spider didn't care. He just walked in and somehow bit him right next to us. Almost like by the sukkah, by the entrance to the sukkah.
Were they dangerous spider?
Yeah, his leg was blown up for 2 days. Baruch Hashem went down. Yeah. Okay, let's see. So if you decide, Baruch Hashem, if you were doing the mitzvah, so, it's Eitzer Hara. It's not Eitzer Hara. I'm just looking for excuses. I don't sleep in the sukkah. Imagine if someone never slept in the sukkah. Hashem Erachem, I don't know. Maybe that's why my head is so crum. But Hashem, with Hashem's help, maybe get us a sukkah, get into the sukkah to sleep there. It's a mitzvah to sleep in the sukkah. You have to live in there. You have to mamash live in there. All right. The only time I sleep in the sukkah, you know when? That's not true. You know what? I slept in the sukkah. I sleep in the sukkah every year.
Yeah.
After the meal, I put down my head. I sleep. So I sleep in the sukkah for 1 hour.
What we have to leave.
What?
We build the sukkah to remember HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We leave the house also. We leave like we did.
That Hashem is in charge of the whole world. Nothing belongs to us.
No.
And
why would we build the sukkah?
because we said in the sukkah when Hashem took us out, I told you just now.
Because Amod Ana.
Yeah.
No, we leave our house, everything.
Yeah. We're showing Hashem we don't have nothing in this world. Hashem is in charge. So again, big tzaddikim used to sleep in the sukkah. Rebbe, big tzaddikim used to sleep in the sukkah without spraying anything.
They get scared from that.
They're not scared. We're little weaklings. Okay, now, so if you're sleeping under the bed, the rabbi says, what happened? if the bed is less than 10 tefachim high, that means the bottom, the top of it, or the bottom of it, right? So let's say somehow you sleep under the bed, afraid of the rain. If it's lower than 35 inches, so lechoyer you could sleep on it, not a problem. It's kasher. But if it's above that, then you have a problem. But a big guy like me, I don't know how I'm gonna fit under the sukkah that's under 35 inches. I don't know, under the bed that's 35 inches. Okay. אם תולה סדין מצויר מתחת לסוכך, אף על פי שהוא פסול לשיכוך, כל שנתנו תוך 4 טפחים, דהיינו תוך 30 סנטימטר לסוכה כשרה. So you have like this. The rabbi says you have a sukkah, and on top you put a beautiful carpet, right? Or what's his name? Beautiful tablecloth or something, right? If it's mamash tzamud l'sukkah, tzamud l'schach, it's mamash on the ceiling, it's going to be kasher. Why? If you're getting it for beauty, if you're putting it there for beauty, it's beautiful designs and everything.
You have to see kochavim.
Right? That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Because you're putting the sheet is like it's a decoration.
Well, if you put when you're raining, put plastic. It's raining.
What?
If it's raining.
That's a problem. Once you put, even if it's down raining, you cannot sit in the sukkah. If without plastic, still you cannot sit in the sukkah if Hashem sends rain.
Put big plastic, but you can cover it. You can.
So it's not kosher anyway. So you sit at home, the same thing.
Yeah.
I never put. I used to put the blue thing for the rain. I don't put that anymore because anyway it ruins the schach. The water gets to sit down and put down the schach. The schach is ruined. So I said, you know what? If Hashem wants it to be rain, it's Hashem's problem, not my problem. What?
You go to bracha, you go home.
What?
You do the bracha.
You can't do bracha when the wet sukkah.
You can when you're
You cannot. Once the sukkah is wet, you cannot sit there.
What are you talking about?
That's not allowed. Of course not. So there's the rules of the first night.
So anyways, you have a rain. You go inside. You do geffen. You go to your house.
No, if Hashem sends rain, you sit in the house, enjoy the house.
I never know that.
Yeah. I know many things we don't know. Baruch Hashem, it's time to learn. Baruch Hashem, you're here now.
Yeah.
Sukkah is supposed to give you like you would sit in your house. It's supposed to be comfortable and enjoyable. If Hashem sends rain, Hashem doesn't want the sukkah, unfortunately. Here, that's what we're saying about, right? We said like the Kadosh Baruch Hu, there's a lot of gemarot about it. Hashem is not happy with us.
Little bit.
What?
Little bit raining, not too much.
If you can't sit in there, it's going to spoil your food. Why are you going to sit there?
It was raining a little bit.
Again, a little bit here in Florida, Mistama is not a problem because the Florida heat is so fast. Like you have it rain at 5 o'clock, at 6 o'clock, everything's dry already.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so there's not a problem then.
No, it starts to rain. I can go do geffen and go back to my house.
No. Okay. Once it started to rain, it has to be it's dry. So now the first night is a mitzvah doraita. So since it's mitzvah doraita, some say that you should be waiting till chatzot laila to see for the rain to stop and to see some way. Well, right. So I don't believe that's our custom.
Okay.
That's not what we do. You come in home. We have another problem. Kiddush has to be done right away. And if it's Hashem is sending rain, sit in the house and you eat. What are you going to do? Okay. Sukkah ba'agala. What about somebody has a sukkah in a carriage? Sukkah asuya tender or berosh agala. והיא עשויה כדת כשרה לברך עליה, יושב בסוכה כשאוכל בה סעודת קבע, אף כשהיא נוסעת, והוא הדין לסוכה שבספינה. So people have carriages, big, they have big trucks, right? Pickup trucks. Like Lubavitch, the big sukkah over there, it's kasher as long as it has 7 tvachim at 7 tvachim.
7 and 4.
You could make
7
and 1.
And 1.
Yeah. 7 tvachim meaning 7 times 4 inches. That's again 28 inches, 30 inches, whatever it is, plus the 1 tefach, 1 plus 4 inches. If it's kosher, and it has kosher schach also, it has to be something that grows, something that even wood, let's say a chair, somebody had a wooden chair and they broke it, you could use it only for walls. You cannot use it for schach. Schach has to be something that's not gabel tuma. Anything that has name, no. Also
so
no.
How they do the support?
Right. So support is a big question. If people have, very important, good question you're asking. Well, people have, you buy bamboo. A lot of people make a big mistake. They buy bamboo from China. It's actually connected with plastic. The ropes are made out of plastic, which is a big problem. So what you do in those cases, let's say you bought bamboo with plastic that holds it. So you have to make sure to put the wooden beams opposite of where the bamboo is. Let's say the bamboo sticks are this way. So you put a wooden beam this way. right? Even though it has plastic that holds it, so we're saying the plastic is not like there, and now it's sitting on the wood itself. Okay, the plastic is only organizing it, putting it together. So there's a lot of inyanim over there. Hetarim.
So you can put
Huh? So the best schach obviously is to buy with they make it with leaves. Instead of plastic, they put it with leaves. That's the best schach to buy. Huh? Wood is also good. Now some people put. I saw a wood. I saw a person has a 1 by 1/4 inch wood, long ones, and he put that as a schach. It's kosher schach, 100%.
Wood's good. Metal.
Yeah, nothing metal and nothing that was used.
I think in Israel, the Sukkoth, they have the new one. They put like a metal like this.
Okay, so good. So what do you do? So like this. I have this question. My sukkah is plastic and it has metal frames, right?
You put it in.
So there's a concept that everything should be on the wood. Everything should be. So I make a humra heterad. Another humra is I put wood beams on the walls a little bit higher. So instead of 2 by 4, I use 2 by 6. So my wood is all protruding on top, and the wood is sitting on top of wood, and schach is sitting on top of the wood. That's the humra of the humrot, just to have everything on the wood, and also no zip ties. The schach should not be tied with zip ties to the frame.
No, with the metal or something.
Nothing, no plastic, because it's mekaber tuma. So what we do is either we just put it there, let's say put up a schach, and I put 2 beams of wood on top to hold the schach down. Okay, so it doesn't move.
But with the cord like this.
That's what I'm talking about. The cord is no good.
No good also.
No good. If it's plastic, mekaber tuma, it's a question. A lot of questions in those things. So you make sure that to have it all kosher is to have nothing on top that has growing. What's his name? So the rabbi says that let's say you have a sadin, you have this sheet, but it's connected to the schach, as long as it's not less than 4 tefachim down. If it's more than 4 tefachim down, let's say let's say you have a big sukkah, 10 feet tall, and after 8 feet, or let's say after 8 feet, you would have Habibi, after 8 feet you have a beautiful sadin, and then you put light bulb in the middle. That would be a problem. But the decorations also cannot hang less than 4 tefachim from the schach, because after that you cannot sit there. You cannot sit under the decoration which is lower than 4 tefachim. Many people hang those beautiful chandelier, the decorations. So if it's less than 4 tefachim from the rule, again, 4 tefachim is only 16 inches, which is 1 foot and 4 inches.
You have to be
44 inches is this much, right? Yeah. About. So if anything hanging below that, it's the place is not kosher. Everything has to be closer to the schach. The closer to the schach, the better. Bezat Hashem will continue hopefully tomorrow.